What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD update for January 8th, 2013. So I've got 10 new Blu-rays to show you, all from last year. These are all movies that came out in 2012. Finally catching up on buying all of these great new movies that came out. Sort of like a post-Christmas sale gift to myself I picked up from work. So yeah, I've got 10 new Blu-rays, but I'm going to split it up into sort of two parts. The first 5 are like some of my favorite films of the year. They were all on my top 20 list video that I made a week or two ago, and the next 5 is sort of a sci-fi themed update. 2012 was a good year for sci-fi films, I thought, and actually one of the ones that are in my first 5 is also a sci-fi film. So let's get started. So of course had to pick up the Avengers. Absolutely love this movie, the way a big summer blockbuster should be. Loads of fun, very entertaining, got a great cast of course. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is great as always. I like Chris Evans as Captain America. And this is the first film to finally get the Hulk right. Hulk and the Incredible Hulk sort of failed in my opinion, even though I like those two films. I don't love either one of them, I have them both. But the Hulk was awesome and really the star of the Avengers. And it was, yeah, just amazing special effects. The big fight sequence towards the end of the film. I mean, it's about an hour long. It's just awesome. Loads of fun, lots of great one-liners. Chris Hemsworth, really good as Thor. Obviously, you've got Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Samuel L. Jackson. And Loki, who appeared in Thor, returns as the villain. Yeah, loads of fun. The best superhero film of the year, I thought, and one of the best of all time. Now the one close behind that, the other big film of the year, and that is of course The Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan's finale to his epic Dark Knight trilogy. Amazing film, brilliant filmmaking on all levels. Just not as good as The Dark Knight, I thought. I had some problems with Tom Hardy's voice as Bane. But he's a great actor, and the guy is just on a roll right now. And he was good as Bane. That first fight with him and Batman in the sewers was pretty awesome. There was like no music during that scene. Yeah, just a great moment. I really liked Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt was a really good character. I was really happy to see him in this. Of course, you got a great supporting cast: Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, and so on. My only big problems was the Bane voice, and I thought they spent too much time, Christian Bale, Batman, locked up in that like the cave, the prison in the hole. I like the ending. I know some people had a problem with the ending or didn't get it. I like the ending. I thought it was appropriate. Dark Knight Rises and the circumstances when this came out obviously were very interesting and very tragic, and I saw it. I waited a few days after all that happened to watch it, and it was a weird feeling, believe me. When I first saw this, it was the first film I'd seen after the events of Aurora, and yeah, it was an amazing experience. Okay, moving on. One of my favorite action films of the year, and that is The Expendables 2. Now, I like The Expendables, but I don't love it. It reminded me too much of Rambo, the 4th Rambo film, in the sort of action violence, which is fine if you like that sort of over-the-top, really bloody. But I didn't like the way it was directed. I don't think Sylvester Stallone should be directing these films, and I'm glad he gave the reins to, I believe it was Simon West, who directed the sequel. The sequel was just tons of fun, bigger, badder, and better in every way than the first one, I thought. Of course, you've got the returning cast for the most part, except for Jet Li. Basically, pisses off 5 minutes into the movie, which is fine, because he's replaced by much bigger roles for Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, and the awesome Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's great as the villain. I liked what's his name? Is it Liam Hemsworth? Chris Hemsworth brother as well. That was a very interesting moment. And the surprising thing about the Expendables 2, it did have heart. There were some like emotional moments, and the first one lacked all of that, I thought. I mean, it's a good film, it's a good action film, but this film really sort of elevated the game. Some of the one-liners got a little tired, of course. The "I'll be back" like a bunch of times, but like the rest of it was just awesome, and I loved it. Okay, in my opinion, the best sci-fi film of the year, and it was one of my favorite films of the year. Great surprise. And that is Looper with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. Yeah, just a brilliant film. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays sort of this futuristic hitman in the future, where criminal organizations send back their bodies into the past, and he eliminates them for them. But eventually, there comes a point where these loopers, these assassins, have to eliminate themselves at one point. Paul Dano runs into this problem, and we see Joseph Gordon-Levitt try and help him out, but eventually he fails, and then himself, 30 years later, aka Bruce Willis, comes back, and obviously he doesn't kill him straight away. Great effects, a great premise, a great concept. I loved Emily Blunt in this. I thought she was great. The special effects are amazing, especially towards the second half of the film. That's where it really sort of elevated this film to great. I thought all the stuff involving her son and the ramifications of him growing up and all that stuff. I don't want to give too much away because that stuff was just brilliant. Yeah, Looper was just awesome. Okay, one of my favorite films of the year. It was #1 for like a few months before sort of the last couple months when all like the big movies came out in the Oscar season. And I think I'm in the minority on this one, and that's Savages, the newest film by Oliver Stone, of course. I should mention that I'm also I'm in a YouTube fantasy league that's run by the great Jay, Absolute Sublime One. I did manage to get to the final, but I lost, and I lost to Jake, aka Con8540. 8540. I'll put a link to his channel in the description, and the winner each got a Blu-ray from all the losers, and there were 11 of us in this league, and I sent him Savages, and he did a unboxing video. He unboxed a bunch of other packages he got from the other guys, but one of them was from me, and I sent him Savages, and I just picked it up myself. Just amazing. I thought Taylor Kitsch and Aaron Johnson play two pot dealers, lifelong friends, who shared the same girlfriend, of course, played by Blake Lively, who's very good in this. And a Mexican drug cartel tries to move in. They want to partner up and do business with the two of them because they have a very successful marijuana dealing business. But they sort of insult them in a way, and to take revenge, the cartel kidnaps Blake Lively's character and sort of holds them for ransom. I just loved it. It totally reminded me of Natural Born Killers, Oliver Stone's great film from 1994. And my feelings recent years, there hasn't really been very many very good sort of gritty crime thrillers like Natural Born Killers and all those great crime thrillers that came out in the 90s, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, that sort of thing. And this film sort of reminded me of that. And actually last year was a very good year for crime movies as well. And when some more of those come out, I'll obviously be getting those. Films like Seven Psychopaths, Killing Them Softly, End of Watch. Well, what? That's a cop movie, but you know what I'm talking about. And I'm looking forward to seeing Stand Up Guys with Christopher Walken and Al Pacino. But this was awesome, I thought. And the main reason was Salma Hayek absolutely steals the movie as the cartel boss, the head lady. She's just amazing. It's her best performance in over a decade at least. Benicio del Toro is great as sort of her right-hand man. My only problem with this film, and many people's problems, is the double ending. They show this great ending, a big standoff in the desert. Cool stuff happens, and then they show another ending right after that, and it's all, well, you get the idea. Yeah, that's my only issue with the film, but besides that, I absolutely loved it. And the ending didn't spoil it enough for me to not like it a lot and not recommend it. I thought it was great. Oliver Stone back on his game. The cast was brilliant. John Travolta as well, I should mention. I love Savages. Okay, moving on. Those are the 5 of my favorites of the year. Next we have 5 sci-fi films, and the film that came out today, and that is Dredd. I've been saying for a couple years that Hollywood needs to stop remaking all these classic 80s and 90s films like Footloose and Straw Dogs and The Thing and Total Recall, but I'll get to Total Recall, and start remaking not so good films. And I gotta be honest, Judge Dredd, the 1993 film with Sylvester Stallone, it's an okay film, but it's mediocre at best. Dredd was fucking awesome. Great effects, the slow motion effects in this film. I mean, we've seen enough slow-mo over the past few years to sort of drive us crazy, but the slow-mo effects, the drug and the effects that has on people, especially in the falling scenes in this film, are just incredible. Carl Urban is very good, very sort of funny and dry. I mean, he doesn't say much in this film, but he's great as Dredd. Just a lot of yeah. And Olivia Thirlby, I think her name is. I liked her in this as her as the young sort of recruit, sort of getting a training day, if you like, as Dredd goes up into this building controlled by a drug lord, played by Lena Headey. Absolutely loved it. The special effects were amazing. The setting was great. If you like The Raid, Redemption, I mean, this film gets compared to it a lot. I like that movie too. I'll be getting that at some point, but Dredd, I absolutely love Dredd. Definitely a remake that's way better than the original. Okay, moving on. I picked up Iron Sky. Interestingly enough, Jake got this in his unpackaging video as well from somebody else. Yeah, this is very fun, very cheesy, very campy sci-fi film about Nazis who have a hidden base on the moon. After World War II, they flee to the moon, and in modern times they now come back to Earth. It's a great premise. It just wasn't really executed as well as it probably could have been. I mean, the cast is fun. You've got Udo Kier is in it. You've got a sort of Sarah Palin type president, sort of ditzy woman as president. What's the girl, the main girl's name in this? I had it on the tip of my tongue. Julia Gutz, I think her name is, the blonde. Sort of typical Nazi blonde in the black. And if you saw my exploitation collection video, you know I like Nazi exploitation films. This isn't really a Nazi exploitation film per se. It's just a fun, campy, cheesy sci-fi film, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. Okay, moving on. Yeah, I picked up Men in Black 3. Nice lenticular cover. All these have slip covers, by the way. I should mention, it's like the first time I've bought a whole bunch of Blu-rays and they've all had slip covers. Yeah, Men in Black 3, I enjoyed it. I thought it was better than the second one. A good return for these characters, Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, who isn't really in it that much. was quite a surprise. Josh Brolin is a great addition. Emma Stone as well, and the guy who plays the villain, I believe he's in Flight of the Conchords. I don't know his name offhand, and I can't be bothered to look it up right now. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved all the stuff they did with the like the space launch, the Apollo mission in the 60s, and I liked how they tied the first film to this film. They sort of wrap it up in a nice bow. There's lots of great stuff involving Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones that sort of harkens back to the original, and the original is still the best in my opinion. I don't love the second one. I certainly don't hate it. I'm not a like Lara Flynn Boyle fan. Certainly not. But yeah, MIB3 was loads of fun, and I really liked the guy who plays Arnold Rothstein on Boardwalk Empire. What's his name? His character was good in this. He sort of can see in the future, see into the future, and there's great moments where we see stuff in the future. I'm gonna look up his name because he's a really good actor. Michael Stuhlbarg. Yeah, that's it. All the stuff with his character I liked a lot. Yeah, loads of fun, lots of good action sequences, and the general story and the way they sort of tied everything together I liked. Okay, moving on because I'm gonna run out of time soon. I had to pick up Prometheus. Yeah, really enjoyed this. Of course, directed by Ridley Scott, one of my favorite directors, and sort of if the whole talk about this being a prequel to Alien is sort of meaningless in my opinion. I mean, the only part that really matters is like the last shot, the last scene. But besides that, this was a very entertaining, very well made sci-fi thriller. The cast was great. I love Noomi Rapace. Charlize Theron was awesome. Michael Fassbender was great. Idris Elba, a very good actor in his own right. I will say that it's basically a combination of lots of different scenes we've already seen in countless other sci-fi films in general, about this crew who are sent up to a planet to investigate maybe the origins of man, all that type of stuff. But the effects were amazing, the settings, the cast, like I said. The only one truly great moment, I thought, the only really truly original scene was when Noomi Rapace gets that foreign object in her body, and she sort of takes it out herself, and she has to do it all by herself. That's a very good scene. That was probably my favorite scene in the film. But Prometheus, really liked it. Okay, last but not least, like I mentioned earlier, Total Recall, the new version of course, with Colin Farrell, what's her name, Kate Beckinsale, and Jessica Biel. I enjoyed it, I gotta say. I love the original Arnold's classic from 1990. In my opinion, it's Arnie's most underrated film overall. I just think it's brilliant. But of course, there was a lot of sort of crap this film got before it even came out. Like, why are you remaking Total Recall? But they did their own thing with it, which I liked, and they referenced the original in very cool and interesting ways. I like that they don't go to Mars, and I like that they reference about going to Mars. That's a great moment. I love the three-breasted hooker, of course. That's a classic. And taking the disguise scene, where Arnold, of course, dresses up as an old woman, and he takes off the head, and it blows up. There's a great sort of homage to that in this film as well. The action scenes in this were really great. There's a great sort of elevator chase between Farrell and Beckinsale that's absolutely amazing, really well done. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of it. Little cliched in parts, especially towards the end, and the whole idea of going through the earth through a big friggin' tunnel is sort of unrealistic, but the setting looked amazing. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of Total Recall, the remake, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. So that's my update. 10 new Blu-rays. Sorry this is longer than usual, but these are all films that sort of fresh in my mind, in my memory, and I wanted to talk about them as much as I could. So yeah, 5 of my favorite films of 2012 and 5 very good sci-fi films, 6 if you include Looper. Yeah, I thought 2012 was a very good year for sci-fi films. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.